What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, with another market watch today. And the first question I have right off the gate, common question of the day. What's going on with OTS Tournament Pack 12? That's right, it's about a month away, roughly, estimated, possibly a month away we'll be getting OTS Tournament Pack 12, and to be honest with you, I want to know what's going on with the Ultimate Rares. I think we're all interested in that, and I think it's kind of common knowledge of what we're going to be getting. I mean, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring is probably the #1 contender as an Ultimate Rare reprint in OTS Tournament Pack 12. Now, I could be wrong. Konami can be making a new OTS pack. They could be waiting till January. But realistically, looking at the past releases of OTS Tournament Packs, December is normally the month they release the next newest one. Well, with OTS Tournament Pack 12, looking at Ash Blossom and Joy Spring as an Ultimate Rare, that would definitely be a card a Yu-Gi-Oh player will want. I mean, everybody has access to the card, as low as common, from super rares, ultra rares, different alternate art ultra rares, as well as the original print secret rares coming out of Maximum Crisis. So what would happen? Well, here's what would happen. A couple of things. Number one, it'd be cool if Konami made an alternate art Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, like the one we see in Dual Power, just, you know, in ultimate rare form. But if they went ahead and did how they did it traditionally by making Ash Blossom and Joy Spring as a ultimate rare of the original print secret rare, well, that would be ideally the one that would hold the most value. But just like Power Duality, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring secret rare will still be a money card. I think with Ultimate coming out, the value of the secret rare will go down. In fact, the value of everything's gonna tank, but secret rare will go down. Everyone's gonna kind of forget about it, and then the secret rare Ash Blossom and Joy Spring will start increasing in value over time. But that's my pick for the Ultimate Rare. So once again, comment question of the day, what's going to be in OTS Tournament Pack 12? I would love to know what you guys say, comment down below, and since you're already down there, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you want to support the channel, go on to TCG Play, I have a link in there, click around, look some cards, you want to buy any bit of it, extra bit of it goes to support the channel. There's a way I'm supposed to say it properly, I'm really bad at that, but whenever you buy a certain percentage of what you pay, so TCG Play taking all that money, they give some money to your Paisano over here. And I use that money normally to buy equipment or just to buy chips. No, I'm dieting. To buy healthy food, which ironically costs more than like junk food. Realistically speaking, like Whole Foods is not wholesome for the wallet. Moving forward though, looking at other cards like Lullaby of Obedience. This is a card, I was looking through random cards the other day, and I just came across Lullaby of Obedience. And I was like, wow. This is one of those cards you side, and going into game 2 and 3, you're activating your opponent. You see, if your opponent's gonna play Nibiru on you, what's better than playing their own Nibiru against them? Think about it. You're in game 2, you still have more time on the clock, ideally, you don't want to do this in time, but you activate Lullaby of Obedience. If you guys don't know what it does, it's a secret rare spell coming out of Legend Collection Kaiba as a higher reprint. It originally came out ultra rare, but the secret rare is what I'm focusing on. Pay tools and life points, declare one monster card name. Your opponent looks at their deck, reveals the declared monster if there's any, and applies one of these effects. Add it to the hand of the player who activated this card, or the player who activated this card can special summon to their field in attack position, ignoring his summoning conditions. Now, obviously, you Orcust players are hearing that and you're going, oh, I could use it to do Orcust plays. You can, but everyone else out there that's not Orcust, well, we could do this to take away Nibiru out of our opponent's hand, and then go, all right, we know what we're gonna use against our opponent. Fun times. Have fun playing against your own card. Thanks for the card, by the way. It's just a really sneaky, slick way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I am absolutely excited about this card. When I randomly found it, and I'm like, wow, that's spicy. That's spicy stuff that you see like Yu-Gi-Oh! Players starting to play DD Crow. Even though we mentioned this channel a long time ago, Paisano's were already involved in that card, but now people are starting to use it as a way to snipe cards. Well, this might be the next DD Crow-esque card, in which it's a card that nobody knows about, you see about on this channel, and then all of a sudden it makes deck profiles, and that guy said, and that guy said, and my idea is stolen again. No big deal though, use it! Bring it to your locals and Nibiru your opponent. It'd be kind of funny, especially if you don't want to play Nibiru. You can just go, I don't play Nibiru, I play their Nibiru. Why use mine when I could use yours? Look at the current price point, the market price is roughly around 50 cents, and light play first edition, well, including shipping, it's about $1. If you already have shipping excluded, it's like a quarter for the secret version of Lullaby of Obedience. Once again, this is the highest rarity. It also originally came out ultra rare in Duelist Pack Rabbit Pharaoh. It's about 50 cents there. It's original print. They're both really nice. I'm personally torn between the original print or the high rarity secret rare. There's no real big change for the card. There's a little bit of a text change, but nothing too insignificant that's gonna, you guys will be there and figure out the rulings of the card. It has two effects. I take a card out of your deck if I call it right, and I put it on my board, or I take a card out of your deck, and I hold my Nibiru in your hand. Or, even spicier, for those who are next level spice, you take your Phantazmay. You go, let me get that $100 Phantazmay real quick, let me get it. Ah, yeah, it feels so good in my hand. Moving forward, looking at other cards like Marinecess. You had your week. Marinecess players. We're done now, okay? Now, with that said, I will say Marinecess has been sporadically still getting Yu-Gi-Oh players their invite. It's been doing good for locals. Marinecess is still putting in that work. But we said Marinecess was tier 1. We said, Marinecess, you show me tier 1 value and I'll playability, and I'll show you your tier 1 value. Being the fact that Marinecess is definitely not tier 1, so this weekend we see a huge amount of Yu-Gi-Oh players playing the top decks that are not including Marinecess. Well, the value is going down slowly. Marinecess Blue Tang had a pre-order price of like $40 to $45 to even $50 on some websites. Look at Marinecess over here, Blue Tang, KS Impact TCG player, it's about 20 bucks, and that's where it is currently. It's about $20. Other Marinecess cards like Wave, which used to be like a $7 hype card, holding a $3 fee set market price, it's about $2. The only card that seems to have any kind of stabilized price point is Marinecess Coral Anemone, from Rising Rampage, secret rare, $23 market price, and it's actually stabilizing at $23. Now, if you're still looking to play Marinecess, you're still gonna run the sign up mining, which we'll go over in a second. But as far as deck core Marinecess, it's slowly going down in value. It's inevitable. By the way, Konami, Swabfrog. No, I'm serious. Put goddamn Swabfrog in the OTS Home Pack 12. This is ridiculous already. Stars Overdrive Common, Ultimate Rare, $5, $80 to $90. Konami, can we get a super rare to meet in the middle for like $5 to $6 on hype, then eventually goes down because everybody gets it. We need this to happen. I'm sick and tired of Swabfrog being so dynamically different, but still a necessity for these rogue players. And Marinecess, I don't know if you're rogue yet. Like I said, I think you're still a little bit higher than rogue, but you're getting near rogue playability. We have to see what's happening this weekend. By the way, good luck to everybody going to Yu-Gi-Oh events this weekend. But we have to see what happens in order to debate whether or not you're viable or non-viable as far as your current price point. Moving forward, IP Masquerena. As Yu-Gi-Oh players open more and more Cast Impact booster packs and booster boxes and all that jazz, Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to be pulling IP Masquerena. This is a phenomenal card. Once again, I always say it, but holding a $20 market price, no, it's $27. Now, after that place has gone, it'll go back up to $28, but nevertheless, it's going to continue to go down in value. It's not because the card's terrible, the card's insane, but it goes down because it's an ultra rare. Had it been a secret rare, well, this price point would be insanely different. Now, for those of you out there holding your IP Masquerena, the Prismatics, well, I got bad news for you. It's about $350. Now, that's not that bad. I'm shocked this hasn't already hit the $200 price point, $200 range price point, but $350 for a card that's decent using some decks. I don't know, I would probably sell if I was to pull this one out of a pack. It ain't like Appaloosa where it's like viable in almost everything because, you know, that Nibiru card's pretty good. No, it ain't like that, but it's still like, it's expensive. Moving forward, Crusadia Avramax is a card that's slowly increasing in value. $20 in the market price, and we're seeing it roughly around $23 right now, almost at $24 for Crusadia Avramax. Why? This card's insane. The meta right now is so weird. If you have heavy combo decks, this card's trash. If you have heavy control decks, this card's trash. But when mid-range is the decks, mid-range decks are the decks that are just dominating the meta, which we currently have right now, Crusadia Avramax works perfectly in the mid-game. You bring this card in the middle of the game and your opponent has not many resources. What little resources he currently has, they have to expand to get rid of this card. One card. All the time you're just working on beating the face in with other cards. But once again, they have to get rid of this one card. And it's a really hard card to get over. Like, really hard card to get over. So once again, if you're looking to play any kind of control deck, or you are still out there playing combo decks, keep an eye on this card. Every mid-range player is slowly moving their way over to this card. This card should be $14. And then there's sign up mining. With a $46 market price, it's at $43. It's going lower in value. And it's going to continue to go lower in value. Marinecess players, the reason this card is not 33 and it's currently 43 is because your deck was doing things this weekend. Not a lot. You weren't dominating the meta, but you were there, Marinecess. We saw you there. You were roughly those two plays in the back row right there. Right there. Marinecess is still a very, very good deck. I think the deck definitely has that surprise factor that's catching a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players off guard. But Marinecess is not the be-all, save-all, end-all deck that I thought everyone else thought that was gonna be. Well, those who bought the deck, who spent a ton of money. Now, I do think that a lot of you players that are playing Marinecess are still going to hold this deck because they spent so much money in it, they want to get that value out of it. But unfortunately, they're going to find out it's not really worth it. In fact, you can take Marinecess, put them in the Salamander grade, and get that quality playability from that deck at your higher locals and or regionals. It's just better that way. Marinecess right now, not worth holding $43 cards. It was a holding a $47 card, and it's gonna be even weird when the card's 35 come week, maybe 2 weeks in advance, and your player's still wondering, should we hold it or sell it? Sell it. Get rid of it, unload it, get your money, get ready for the new meta. Whatever that it's gonna be. By the way, you can play a lot of cheap decks right now, like a ton of cheap decks. We have Pendulum Magicians, which is still good. Oh, Endymion Magicians, which is still a very good deck. We have Lullaby Orcust, which requires you to buy only one Dinker. So if you have a Dinker package, the deck's pretty much a discount deck at a tier 1 level. And we have just a bunch of other decks like Thunder Dragons that got reprinted in the Megaton. So you have a lot of options. By getting rid of a rogue deck, you can make your way into a tier 1 deck that easily. Moving forward, Fantastical Dragon Phantazmay. It's a great card. With a $100 market price, the value for Unlimited is roughly around 105. First editions still have not hit 115. They're currently at about 109. For these two, 109. After those two have been sold, the next one is roughly around $117 for Fantastical Dragon Phantazmay. Obviously, amazing card. And the thing about this card is, you can play this when it was going around 80, were yelling at me to not talk about this card, but it's so good. It's even better when you activate, I don't know, that card, and then you take their Phantazmay, and then you do this thing with your hand, you just do the quick shuffle, and they're sweating like, ooh, calm down. Paid a lot of money for that card. You're like, oh yeah. Yeah, anyone shuffles fast? Anyway, moving forward, guys, we have Get Out coming out of Rising Rampage. The price was originally $5 for this card, $7.50 in the market price, and it's roughly almost near $9 for this card. Well, why? Simple, very simple, actually. The card's insane. It's really good. Think about it. You're going second against Thunder, or going first against Thunder Dragons. You're playing the control deck. Why not? This card patiently cleans the Thunder Dragon board, if not 100% eradicates it. You're going against Orcust, which have delicate combos. They do. And Orcust is the dominant deck, but it's still a very delicate deck, which makes it more fun to play against. Well, activate Get Out, reset their board state. Literally, they spam the board, have cards in the graveyard, they have cards in the extra deck, I mean, in the bench pile, and then you just return a Dingusu and Galatea. That's gonna sting. Bait the negate, return Dingusu Galatea, set some control the cards down, play with a little Solemn Strike action, and you just sit back because the game's basically over at that point for a control aspect. For any other players, it's still a phenomenal card. Another fun thing about this, if you're running Traptrix, well, this is really good with Traptrix. Like, really good with Traptrix. Especially going first in game 2 or game 3. You go Traptrix into Artifact Sanctum or Traptrix into Get Out. If you open an Artifact Sanctum, you Traptrix into Get Out. It's very simple. You activate your Artifact Sanctum, you bring your side, your opponent's stalled off for the turn. Next turn you go, you try to kill him, you can't kill him, no big deal. Turn after that, you activate Get Out. You reset their board, you keep pushing them back by playing fun little trap cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! Moving forward, there's another card I want to talk about. Actually, it's right over here. It's Cap Shell. Now, this card is terrible front end looking. I mean, look at how it is right now. This card is absolutely atrocious. Can we agree on that? But this card might be good in the future. In fact, this card has a current 68-cent market price. If you have shipping included, the card price is already 45 cents for Cap Shell. Why is this going to be good? Well, in February, we're getting the Shaddoll structure deck. Now, obviously, Konami's going to make a lot of reprints of a lot of wanted Shaddoll cards, hopefully Noritalis, which is extremely expensive. But more importantly, Konami has the possibility and opportunity to create new Shaddoll cards. Now, it'd be really cool to see Konami make Shaddoll a tier 1 deck. And even though I saw a lot of legacy support come and go in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And come and go with hype and non-playability, like, you know, Fire Fist, we really haven't seen that much happen with structure decks. Konami's been, structure decks or star decks, I always get the names of it. Anyway, Konami's been really crazy with those decks. I mean, think about it. The last big one was Salad Mangrates. Pretty good. The last one that had like a brand new deck or core of a deck in it was Salad Mangrates, and it's really good. We had Rockets, which kind of changed the meta until Nibiru came out as well. We had all these other decks like Monarchs. All these dominant decks, crazy strong decks, they were in starter decks. And it's been a while since we had a good starter deck format by the time we're in January. So I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but if it does happen, Shaddolls will get more support, hopefully. and they become a meta deck. And more importantly, for anyone just focusing on the timeline, Shaddoll come out February. Let's say they do become meta February. We got between February within one ban list up until Nationals. So you have this weird time frame in which Konami has a February ban list, and then we got Nationals coming out right around the corner. There's a good chance of another band's coming out, not by February, but another band's coming out. And if Shaddolls are still really good, they can be playing at Nationals. It's kind of that serious. Bring it back over to Cap Shell. Why is this good? Because it's a good card. If this card uses a material for fusion, synchro, or link summon, you can draw one card. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you play Shaddoll Fusion, you can use Cap Shell. You use Cap Shell, and that's pretty damn good. Now, what will it take to make Shaddoll's a good deck? We could theorize all day long. I'm going to root for a new field spell that makes your opponent, every time your Shaddoll monster hits the field from the extra deck, you draw a card. So it's a really aggressive draw deck, but it has a lot of great control aspects. It's not fully mid-range, but it technically is mid-range. You know what I'm trying to say? I think that's kind of where Shaddolls are, and I kind of like them like that. And if Konami releases some more fun cards like that do that, well, that makes cards like Cap Shell pretty good. Maybe even a cool cycle card. Maybe their own version of Phantazmay. Who knows? What we do know is we're definitely getting Shadolls in February, and there's a good possibility that they could become a meta deck. That's a real thing based off facts of, I don't know, previous structure decks that had deck cores in them that became meta decks. Moving forward, look at a mathematician. Coming out Dragon's Legend Secret Rare. $5 market price? Well, if you could find it. Let you play unlimited is roughly around $7 to $8. The near mint is at $25 for Secret Rare Mathman. And that's it. Mathman is more money than Scrap Recycling. The answer is very simple. It gets out of one, they're going to be one. This card is perfectly good against that. You saw in Mathman, you activate his effect, your opponent holding Theconomy 1 is sweating now, because would you really activate there right now? No, you probably wouldn't. You would wait until your opponent actually links up to a play and goes into Galatea. More than likely, they'll try to still go into Phoenix to get a free pop, and to be honest with you, you don't want to activate it then, because then you're just showing your opponent, hey, pop this card over here. You want to pop a bait card, so then you go activate Theconomy 1 when they have a Galatea on board. Little pro plays for you, my friends. But looking at Mathematician, it's still a great card. In my opinion, I think it's better than Scrap Recycler for Orcust players. And we're seeing more Orcust players, especially pure Orcust, run 3 Mathman and maybe 1 or 2 Scrap Recycler. But really focusing on 3 of this card. As once again, your opponent is somehow infinite permanents it and you don't have any more plays. You still have the ability on when this card's destroyed, so you can draw a card. Your opponent can't kill you, well, guess what? You get to draw an extra card, and you get to go in the next turn with a +1 to try to redo your combo and establish that board state. It's actually really good. Moving forward, Appaloosa Bodegas is going higher in value. Shocker to nobody. $64 market price. Appaloosa Unlimiteds are about $73. First generation versions also roughly around $73, almost near $74 for Appaloosa Bodegas. You want to see a card that's prismatic that has value, that most likely was going to maintain value as long as Nibiru is a top dog? Well, prismatic Appaloosa Bodegas with a $370 market price is actually almost near $390. After a couple of sales, it goes back up to $400. A price point it's pretty much held sporadically anywhere from $350 to $400 since its release in Rising Rampage. It just is what it is. And whether or not to play this card or not, well, if I had a secret rare, I wouldn't play my prismatic. But since I don't have a secret rare, I'm gonna play my prismatic. And I ain't gonna lie, it feels really good to drop a prismatic Appaloosa. It looks good, feels good, and yeah, it's really stupid to me. I just think it's dumb. Like I said, if I had a secret rare, I would totally play that and not play this prismatic. This is a collector's card. Just is what it is, my friends. Moving forward, KONAMI going higher in value. Still a question mark. Okay. KONAMI's coming Legend Collection card with a secret rare with an $8 market price, $8.50, is roughly around $20. If you want to get your Millennium Pack versions, no big deal. Or your Shaddoll is almost near $15. And if you want your dual power versions, dual power people that boil out dual power, this is important. You're gonna want to listen. You used to have a $7 market price. Well, it's about $11. Congrats. That's a plus. Go ahead and sell this card. Seriously, this card is insanely expensive, and I don't recommend you hold on to this card. I think I have a playset somewhere, but the minute I find it, that bad boy's getting thrown on the market because I'm not holding on to a $20 version of KONAMI. That price point's high, insanely high, and doesn't belong to me at this high price point. Seriously, get rid of this card. Next, Orchestrated Return. With a $15.50 market price, the value's actually at $17 for Orchestrated Return Secret Rare coming out Soul Fusion. Now, I know Pure Orcust is good, arguably the best deck in the meta. But is it worth it? Let's see. We're roughly about 1 month from real talks on ban speculation. We're 2 months away from getting an actual ban list. Why hold Orchestrated Return? Well, to be honest with you, there's no reason to hold this card. It doesn't merit holding it and merit its value. I highly recommend you get rid of this card. I've been saying since the card originally spiked up in value, and I'm going to stick with that. This card's just not worth holding. Get rid of it. It's just not worth it. Unless you're playing pure Orcust and you need to get your invite, or you got a good locals, it's the only deck you have. That's the only reason I can see you, actually anyone out there, holding Orchestrated Return. Anyone else, you're literally playing hot potato with value. That's what you're doing right now. Don't let it blow up in your face. Get rid of it before it goes down in value and you're holding 37 copies of this card and wondering, gee, I really should have got rid of this card as fast as possible. Moving forward, Masquerena Dion. In fact, Masquerena Dion and Masquerena Acid are going up in value. Why? Well, because it says heroes. In fact, anyone that says, gee, I don't know why this card's going in value, just point to heroes. And if they keep asking questions, they're relatively new to the game. So, welcome to with open arms. Look at the Masquerena DM with from the 2012 Premium Collection 10. The only printing, by the way, coming out 7 years ago, holding a $13 market price is actually stabilizing. It's went a little bit down. It's about $11, actually, to be honest with you. But Masquerena Acid, another solo print card with a $8 to $9 market price, is roughly around $9 to almost $10. It's stabilizing at its price point and relatively high. These cards are roughly around $1 to $2 each, respectively, about a year ago. In fact, my previous market watch, you go back a year ago and see me talking about these cards, saying how 2012 Premium Collected 10 solo print hero cards should not be this low. And even currently today, I still think these cards are very undervalued. Do I think they're good? No. Do I think they're going to be seeing meta play? Absolutely not. But they're undervalued because they're hero cards, solo print, secret rares coming out 7 years ago. And yeah, these price points are actually very low. Wouldn't be surprised if they go higher in value or a buyout happens. Once again, hero players are not like competitive players. We have hero players that are now competitive players, and they're doing things. Believe me, you better know what that deck does, or you're gonna get laid out by that deck. But these card prices are very expensive, and going to be more expensive as the future goes on. Then we have Topologic Zeraboros. I love this card. I saw Rampangu Nations, another YouTuber, he's also a competitive player, my buddy named Justin Singh, very good player, very nice guy. He actually played this card in his deck, and this card's absolutely insane. It came on a structure deck, Rocket Revolt, another great card from a structure deck. Go figure. And it's really good. As a link for requiring 2 effect monsters, it states you cannot summon set to monsters to any extra monster zone this card points to. Gains 200 attack for each banished card. If another monster is summoned to a zone that this zone a link monster points to while this monster is on the field, banish all cards on the field. Once per turn during the standby phase of your next turn after this card was banished by its own effect, special summon this banished card. So what you do is you play this against decks that really need their board state and really need a stable board state. Ideally Salamander because they can't easily spam the board or you know, I mean, they really want to get their first summon off before they start doing combo. You stop their first summon. You ask any control player, they're gonna be sitting there sweating, wondering how can they put another monster on board to create that Salamander combo. Anyway, looking at Topologic Zeraboros, I think this is a very good card. I want to cover a quick little discrepancy. You can still link summon if you are bringing this card out. This card's in your extra monster zone. You can link summon to the 2 zones this card points to. Alternatively, your opponent can do as well. Just realize the minute you do it, this card effect will proc and you'll spam and you'll clean the whole board out. Literally the whole board. Okay, banish all cards on the field, not monsters. All cards. This card's a 3k attack body. This card's insanely broken, and I do think decks like Orcust can really bring this card out as they can special summon on your opponent's turn, and they go wait until whenever they're ready to use this card's effect to spam this card out, to activate its effect, to bring another Orcust by bringing another more Orcust monster out and cleaning the entire field. By the way, once it comes back, it can still do its effect. By the way, it can still do it, and that's really broken. The price point of this card, if you don't include shipping, is 20 cents. Once again, you probably have this card if you bought the Structure Check Rocket Revolt. And if you do, well, it's a good card. And it wouldn't be surprised this card he's playing. In fact, I mentioned Orcust, but any deck that has the ability to bring monsters out, special summon-wise, on your opponent's turn, it's really good. In fact, that's good enough to make that deck a little bit more better by utilizing Topologic Zeraboros. Up next, Cyber Dragon Nastra, coming out of Dual Power with a $7 market price. This price point is almost there $9. Why? This card's amazing. Once again, check out my buddy Rampangu Nation. Justin saying on his channel. He plays 3 of these. In fact, look at the YCS IMPERIUM London. We saw a player in the top 10. I think he got 3rd place by playing a gold second build of Orcust, running Cyber Dragon Nashar. You can always set this card face down, contact fusion, or use his ability to pitch a monster out of your hand, Orcust monsters, or anything else, realistically Orcust monsters, or Dages, you want to be spicy. Right? Is it any monster? Yeah, discard one other monster, and bring this card out, and tell your opponent, hey, see you got some monster special from the extra deck. I got the Orcust monster. Are those machine monsters? Are you playing Orcust? Well, I'm gonna contact fusion for everything unless you stop this one level 1 crappy card. Seriously, if you don't stop it, I'm gonna clean your field out. What are you gonna do? And that's not a normal summon, so you can still maintain, work on maintaining your normal plays. Pretty good actually. Card once again is hitting bar play around 9,000. Wouldn't be surprised if the card goes higher in value, as this card's really good in general for anyone out there playing any Orcust variant, or anyone out there playing Cyber Dragons, which is still a very good deck in the meta right now. I think Cyber Dragons is another deck that's, I said it before, I'll say it again, is a deck kind of like Burning Abyss, where like you'll get an exceptional player play at a tier 1.5 level, maybe even a tier 1 level, especially now, because the Cyber Dragons can be played at more of a mid-range, even though they have a great opening game 1. Which is ideal for all these decks in the game that are like the best decks. They have a great opening turn, but realistically they can really shine throughout the mid game. And I think Cyber Dragon is also a very good deck, but once again, it's something an exceptional player can play at that high scale level. Most players will play at tier 2 casually, and then you can play playing at tier 1.5. So getting the invites, just not making top 8 all the time. Moving forward, we have Witchcraft the Creation from Infinity Chasers. With a $19 price point, the card price is going higher and higher to up to $22 for Witchcraft the Creation. 1 Witchcraft the player topped in 1 place in 1 bad regionals, and I mean bad regionals. Nebraska. It's Nebraska, it's Oklahoma, maybe even Kansas. And I'm sorry if you're from there. I know I'm gonna get like that one guy just recently subscribed. I was like, oh, I like this content, and he's gonna be dogging his crappy regionals. Like, oh, V, how dare you dog my crappy regionals? I'll let you know I got my invite last week with insert crappy deck nobody cares about, nobody really plays, except like 5 people, and you got casual players going crazy, and you got your invite. Just name that deck, in this case Witchcrafters, and you'll say I did it. I'm a good player. I don't wanna pop your bubble, and I feel bad. I mean, I wish they made like a YCS Nebraska, and I hope nobody else goes, but we know it's gonna happen. It will be top players, but I wish, you know how there's like the TCG and the OCG? I wish it was like the NTG, which is like Nebraska Yu-Gi-Oh! They have their own banners so they can play like mad bad cards and they can just have fun. I'm not even joking. I would love to go there and play casual decks and still get my invite. It'd be really fun. I want to get my invite with Blackwing. It's basically what I'm trying to say. And the only way I can do it is to go to Nebraska. And I'm not even joking you. Someone's watching this video right now who's shuffling a non-meta deck going, yeah, I'm probably get my invite in Nebraska. It's Nebraska. Of course, I'm getting my invite. I don't know what's happening out there. I don't know if there's something in the air vents. I don't know if you guys are, the water's getting poisoned. But something always happens in Nebraska where like bad decks top constantly. It's like Nebraska, Oklahoma, and maybe Kansas, but definitely Nebraska and Oklahoma. I'm seeing a lot of that. And if you guys think I'm wrong, that's your opinion. It's totally fine. Maybe I'm being too mean on them. Look at the deck list this past weekend. You tell me what's good. Though I will say, when you get an exceptional player like my buddy Paul Cooper, he'll go and he'll wreck the event. The Blessing will go and wreck the event. You know, these guys that are just really good players are going to go and dominate the event. And then everybody's playing casual decks like Witchcrafter. You know, there's still some meat in that bone. Go ahead, have a bite. Bujins is what I'm playing in Nebraska. This is what I'm trying to say, boys. I'm going to get my invite with Bujins in Nebraska. Bujin model going up in value, by the way, coming out of Astro Pack 5 with a $17 market price. Is about $23. $23 for Ultimate Rare Bujin Yamato. This card had a price point roughly around $8. This new Bujin hype coming out in the links. I don't think it's going to be good, but I want it to be good, so let's just leave it like that. But I will say Bujins are gorgeous looking. Having a max rated Bujin deck, it just feels right. It feels like this needs to be done. Bujin got a cool storyline. Just like the Orcust players have a great story. Orcust have an insanely good storyline. And maybe I'll do a video about that one day, but Bujins also have an insanely good storyline, and they're gods. It's just such a badass storyline for great decks. But yeah, Bujins are really good. And if you're living around the Nebraska area, go play. You'll probably make top 8 and get a play mat. Congratulations. You played a really good deck, a really good match, and just nothing but you and a bunch of little Jimmies just getting laid out. And unfortunately, by round 4, they have to go because the mouse calling the minivan. They got to go play Fortnite and eat Eggos, and they got a little school tomorrow. Basically, kids. But yeah, it'd be really cool. I mean, maybe do like a GoFundMe to get me to go over to Nebraska and play with Bujins, because I'm definitely getting my invite if I do that. Moving forward though, Traptrix coming in as Soul Fusion Secret Rare, holding a $10 price point. Wrong, it's not 10. Unlimited version of those cards roughly around $13. First edition Traptrix, you say? Well, that's about $15. Mind you, this card went at price point as low as $8 when the Ultra version came out from the 2019 Gold Star tin. 2019 Gold Star tin also roughly having a stable price point of $7 when this card first was dropped. It was roughly around $4. Well, why is this card good? Oh, right, because Artifact Sanctum. And like I said earlier, you can play Get Out, but realistically, you activate this card, you play Artifact Sanctum on your opponent, you bring out Sai. If they have no answer for any of this, well, GG. Because most, even mid-range decks, are still tempo. And in tempo decks, if you lose tempo against a tempo deck, which almost all these decks are, the game's over. We can make an argument whether Thunder Dragon is a tempo deck in the mid-range sense, but I think Orcust is. I think if I'm playing against you, and I have a full established Orcust board, and I bring out an Artifact Sai on your turn, you don't really have much you can do. And next turn, I'm going to kill you. Because I have more tempo, I have more cards on board, I have more cards I can utilize the following turn. And I did it first before you did. And Traptrix, Artifact Sanctum, and Artifact Sai facilitated that setup. So that's why it's happening like that, and why this card's going up in value. Paisanos, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Thank you so much. Please, guys, hit the subscribe button. Go to your locals, tell your fellow Paisanos, well, they're not yet into the subscribe button, to come check out the channel. Spread the word of the Market Watch. Spread the word of more content I'm gonna have on the channel. I know I haven't done videos in the past couple of days. I've been really busy, to be honest with you. But I will tell you this, it's busy with cards. So which is always a good thing. Actually working on some more speed duel decks. I'm really excited about that. I'm working on some GOAT format decks, even though GOAT players have totally wreck that format. I still love goats, and I have about 2 or 3 goat format decks I'm working on, and of course competitive Yu-Gi-Oh decks. I have a ton of those. And my casual players, well, we're casual for now, unless you're in Nebraska. Then you're a high-end professional player sponsored by team whoever, because you're in Nebraska. I mean, what's it like to sponsor someone in Nebraska? A piece of corn and like gas money? I don't understand how this works with anyway. But listen, you know, casuals tier 1 in Nebraska, so I'm about to do a Monarch deck profile, which I won't say is trash, because I love Monarchs. I think Monarchs have the opportunity to be really good, especially if your opponent doesn't have an answer for the Monarch Field Spell, Domain of the True Monarchs. But you go to Nebraska, that's tier 1, boys. Please don't unsubscribe from me from Nebraska. I'm sorry. You know it though. We all know it. So let's talk about what it is and move on. It's really fun. I want to play in the NTG format. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos have a great day.